In a small coastal village in Nigeria, there lived a mermaid named Oluwaseun. She was a mysterious figure, known to the villagers as both a blessing and a curse. With long, flowing hair the color of midnight, skin that shimmered like the sea at dusk, and eyes as deep as the ocean, she was an enigma. People whispered about her beauty, her charm, and the strange powers she held. Oluwaseun wasn't like the other mermaids of the folklore. While many of her kind used their allure to seduce sailors or grant wishes, she had a different desire or feast. She would lure unsuspecting villagers, especially those with rich flesh and bright souls, into the water, where they would vanish. At first, people believed these disappearances were accidents, but over time, they began to realize the pattern. Those who spoke too highly of the mermaid or were too greedy or proud would simply disappear. She had a way with words, with a song that could melt the toughest hearts.
Come to the sea where the shadows lies. Hear my song beneath the sky. Follow the wave, let your heart fall lost in the depth of the siren call.
When she sang, the waves danced, and the sun dimmed in respect. Her victims would approach the water, entranced, as if the ocean called them home. They would walk deeper, farther, until the water reached their waist, their chest, and finally, their necks. It was then that Oluwaseun would show her true nature. She would emerge from the depths, her tail curling gracefully around them, her smile both beautiful and terrifying. Her victims would beg for mercy, but Oluwaseun only listened to their desperate cries as she reveled in their fear. She would devour their souls, leaving their bodies empty shells washed up on the shore for others to find. It was said that their souls would join her in the deep, feeding her, making her more powerful and more beautiful. One fateful day, a young fisherman named Beo arrived in the village. He had heard the stories of the mermaid and, being a man of humble origins, was not easily swayed by tales of beauty or power. He came to the village seeking work, unaware of the danger that lay hidden in the waters. Beo was different. While others feared her, he was curious. He had heard the elders talk about the mermaid's power, but he did not believe in the superstitions. One night, as he fished by the water's edge, he heard the sweet melody of her song. Unlike the others, who would have fled, he stood still, listening. As she rose from the water, her voice calling him closer, he felt an unusual calm. "You are not like the others," she said, her voice soft and alluring. Beo met her gaze, unblinking. "I am not afraid," she smiled, but there was a flicker of doubt in her eyes. "Do you not wish to have all the riches you desire? To never want for anything?" Beo shook his head. "I seek peace, not wealth. You prey on the greed of men. That is why they fall." Oluwaseun studied him for a long moment, her tail swishing gently in the water. Something in her stirred. For the first time, she found herself doubting her own motives. She had feasted for so long, but now, standing before Beo, she wondered, was there more to life than hunger? But the hunger inside her was strong. She couldn't resist. She lunged, wrapping her arms around him. But Beo, with the strength of a man who had known hardship, broke free, pulling away from her grasp. "You cannot control me with your power," he said, stepping back slowly. "I have nothing you can take, and I will not be a part of your feast." Oluwaseun's eyes narrowed as her form shimmered in the moonlight. She had never encountered a human like him. Slowly, she retreated into the water, her heart heavy, her hunger still gnawing at her. From that night on, she never again fed on the souls of the villagers. They were free, and Beo became the only man who ever truly understood her. The villagers, forever wary of her, would still hear her song on the winds, but they no longer feared it. Instead, they listened, wondering if the mermaid might one day find her true purpose in the world. But for now, the feast was over. The mermaid had found something far more elusive than hunger. She had found the possibility of peace.